वही होता है जो मंजूर खुदा होता है।
तूफान से निकल सकती है। मायूस न हो, अपने इरादे न बदल, तकदीर किसी वक्त बदल सकती है।
आती है दुआ बन।
है तो क्या होता है, वही होता है जो मंजूर खुदा होता है।
Today, we're going to dive into a pretty bold vision for the year 2030. It's a future that's supposedly being shaped by a totally new kind of person, some really advanced tech, and a huge cultural shift being called biomodernity. So let's get into it and figure out what that all means. So the big question right off the bat is, what does this future actually feel like? What's the vibe? According to this vision, what's the core aesthetic that's going to define the world of 2030 and beyond? Well, the answer is surprisingly direct. It's a future that's all about peak human performance, and it's driven by a sharp, integrated kind of intelligence. But the most important part, this isn't some distant science fiction dream. The idea is that it's a reality that is already starting to take shape. And that leads us right into the central concept, the rise of what the source material is calling the biomodern. Now, this isn't just a trend or a style. It's being framed as a whole new cultural movement, and it's built around a very, very specific type of person. And that right there is the crucial point. This entire vision for 2030 really hinges on the emergence of this new human archetype, a new model for leadership and ambition that is just fundamentally different from what we've seen in past generations. Now, what's really fascinating here is the generational context behind it. This vision sees Gen Z as the generation that finally moves past the anxieties that defined older groups. So instead of getting stuck in what the source calls grief cycles, they've supposedly adopted this resilient, tech-focused mindset that blends strength with a whole new kind of modern sensibility. Okay, so this big generational shift gives rise to a figure that's being called the advanced young leader. This is the person who won't just navigate the future, but will be the one actively building it. So here it is, the core definition. The biomodern man isn't about old-school power or brute force. It's about a synthesis, a combination of soft-mannered intelligence on one hand and a courageous athletic authenticity on the other. Let's break that down a bit. The aesthetic is clean, performance-oriented. The personality balances that traditional masculinity with a softer, more intelligent approach. But the most important part, the real game changer, is the focus. A massive shift away from being a passive consumer to becoming an active creator, specifically a founder of high-performance companies. And this new focus, well, it requires a whole new philosophy. The old goal of prestige, think luxury brands, external status symbols, that's being replaced. The new values are something called flaw-free nature, which is all about achieving a state of perfection that mimics biology, and inno-personality, where your identity is defined by your innovation and creativity, not by the stuff you own. Now, every major shift like this needs a geographic center, right? A hub where all these ideas and innovations can really take root. And according to this vision, that center is undergoing a dramatic change. It's being called the Great Relocation. What we're talking about is a strategic industrial move, with high-tech firms and top innovators all converging on the UAE, specifically Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The idea is this creates a new, incredibly powerful hub for West Asian innovation. So we have the new leader and the new location. What do they actually build? Well, that brings us to the tangible products of this biomodern era, the new machines. 500 kilometers per hour. Let that sink in. That's over 310 miles per hour. This isn't just a number. It's a statement of intent. It's the target speed for the flagship product of this new movement, the Servan Motors Phoenix hypercar. The Phoenix hypercar is a perfect symbol of this whole shift. It started in Iran, but it has now evolved into a global powerhouse based in the UAE. The key here is the move from outsourcing parts to in-house mastery, developing their own proprietary hybrid V8. The design language is called heroic fly space, which means it's aerodynamically aggressive, but with a soft consideration for its environmental impact. The goal is just pure, uncompromised performance that embodies this new biomodern ideal. But it's not just about ultra-exclusive hypercars that almost no one can afford. The next machine represents a very different philosophy, one that's been described as Neo-Lambo, taking that iconic supercar DNA and making it way more accessible. And this is the Onuk Sazan EV. The goal here is an affordable, mass-market electric supercar. It's a product of a Turkish-UAE collaboration, and its identity is truly a globalized West Asian one. You can even see this in the little details, like the user interface, which is designed from the ground up to be multilingual. The final machine we're looking at completely rethinks city travel. The West Asian sports commuter is a totally new class of motorcycle. It's designed to be weight-free, meaning it uses ultra-light materials to feel incredibly agile. And check out the powertrain. It uses hybrid synthetic fuels, which is a really interesting way to create a bridge between the classic feel of a combustion engine and a zero-emission future. So, what's the design DNA that connects all of these different products? What are the core principles of biomodernity? This vision lays out 4 very clear pillars. These 4 pillars are basically the foundation. BioFit means technology is designed to be a seamless extension of the athletic human body. EcoWell is all about achieving sustainability without, and this is key, sacrificing performance. Active ACMAS refers to smart, dynamic surfaces that can literally adapt to their environment. And finally, flaw-free nature is the big guiding principle, engineering that strives for the same kind of perfection and efficiency we see in nature. All right, let's bring this all together. What does this all mean for the world by 2030? How does this vision actually translate from a cool concept into a global reality? So the crucial point being made is that this is predicted to move from just a framework to a lived reality by 2030, and it's going to be driven and implemented by that first wave of Gen Z, the kids of the Y2K era, who are now becoming those advanced young leaders we talked about earlier. And this is the final form of that leader. The tech-savvy smart boy, which is a term from the source document, isn't just a founder anymore. They're managing global systems. And their tools are high intelligence, a kind of dynamic, heroic youthfulness, and even a new kind of functional fashion, soft hero wear, that blends high performance with aesthetics. And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Is this unique blend of stoic athleticism, soft-mannered intelligence, and bio-integrated technology, is this the definitive blueprint for our coming world? It's a powerful vision, for sure, and one we're going to see unfold in the years to come.
Salam, Dabam, Madam,